Hello there, parents. Manoa here, and in today's experiment of simple machines, your kids might need a little bit of help in the wheel section. So before we even get started in doing the experiments for today, can you guys prep this for them? Yeah, they need some superheroes to help them out, so that'll be you. All right, so what they will be needing help on is with the wheels, the stick axle, and the straw axle, the red straw here, okay? And you can prep this ahead of time for them, which is to just take your wheel and the axle, the stick, and just put it inside of there. Just kind of wiggle it around, kind of turn the wheel so that it goes in nice and snug, kind of wearing it in like that. Then you could take the other wheel and put it in the same way as I just did. But we want the straw in the middle. So the reason why I'm doing this is I just want to kind of wear it in a little bit. That's why I'm twisting it like that. Then you could just take it out and put in the straw, and then finally putting it on. Now notice I got a very small amount of space. So if yours is going to be too much, it's going to take too much space like this, then what you could do is you could just take that and just cut it off as much as you need, according to how tall the straw is or how tall the stick is. That way it could fit in nice and snug. So just prep this for both of the wheels. So here's one of the wheels. And then the way you could check is if it spins nice and easily, just like that, then you are good. But we want to prep it for both of the wheels in the same way. A good thing to do also is I found when I played with this, my wheel kind of came off a little bit. So if it does that, then just kind of take it off and push it down against the table or something like that. So push it down. It actually goes down pretty deep. So you could do that. Once it's nice and snug, then put the rest of the pieces and you should be good. And you just put it on and that's it for both of these. Yeah, yes, Mom. Yeah, Mom. I gotta teach a class. That's Mama. Anyway, boys and girls, today we're gonna talk about things that make work a lot easier. I'm talking about machines. Before we talk about these machines, grab the bag that has a whole bunch of stuff. There's a sticker with fire on there. There's some foam, some sticks, some wheels, among a bunch of other stuff. And then inside of your envelope, make sure to grab these. There are 4 pieces of cardboard. They are all almost about the shapes of triangle, but there are 4 of them. Okay, make sure to grab those 4. And not included that we definitely need in our experiments for today are a pair of scissors, stack of books, and a bunch of small toys and little things, even a little bottle. Make sure that they are small, okay? But we need all of these things for our experiments for today. Now, like I said earlier, we're gonna talk about machines. Now remember, machines make work a lot easier. Well, what are these types of machines? Well, they could be as complex as your phone. Well, how does this make work easier? Well, instead of me shouting to my mom, "Hey Mom, can you bring some cookies?" and hurting my throat, well, I just call her beep boop beep boop. Hello, right? Makes it a lot easier. Even a car makes life a lot easier. Why? Instead of carrying all the family on your back, right? And even the dog and all the luggage, put it in the car. Makes life a lot easier. Even a hammer, right? Instead of trying to use your hand to, push down the nail, you could hurt yourself. Well, what do we use? A hammer. Makes life and work a lot easier, right? So these are different machines that we could use to make work a lot easier, but they don't have to be so complex like these. They could be very, very simple. And there are actually 6 simple machines. One being the screw, then you got the incline plane, the lever, the wedge, the pulley, and finally the wheel and axle. Okay, so these are very, very simple machines that we could even use in more complex machines. And let's take a closer look at how some of these work. As an example, the wheels and the axles. Believe it or not, ever since you were a wee little boy or girl, you've used wheels and axles. Like in the car, it's got 4 wheels and 4 axles. Even the stroller that mom and dad pushed you down, right, has got some wheels and axles. Even the bicycle, the tricycle, the scooter, skateboard, rollerblades, you name it. If you ride it, it has some wheels and axles, all right? So how does it work? Well, the thing is, these wheels and axles, well, there's a wheel and there's an axle. That's why it's called a wheel and axle. By itself, it's kind of useless, but together, they're amazing. Okay, so you got the wheel. If you got the wheel by itself and you have something on top, it will just slide right off. But if you have it together with an axle, what happens is the axle can carry all of the load, but also by itself, it's nothing. It's not gonna move anywhere. But with the wheel, carrying all that load, it's gonna be able to roll on by carrying all the load. Just think about your car, right? The wheels move nice and easily, right? But the car doesn't really have to do anything. It just lays flat and right on top of the axle, which is attached to the wheels, which move forward nice and easily. So you know what we're gonna do? In our next experiment, we are gonna make a Speedster. Speedster! Let's make one of these Speedsters by grabbing these things, which are the 4 cardboard pieces from your envelope. And then there are the pieces of tape from the bag. A little tip for you guys. You could use your own tape. It's a lot better than using these tape. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to peel it off, so go ahead and feel free in using your own tape. Any tape would do. Then also there are the 4 wheels, the 2 stick axles, the 2 red straw axles. But if your parents have already made them by looking at the previous video, the preview of these, then go ahead and use those. You've already made them. But if you didn't, no worries. We're gonna make it together. And also we need our pair of scissors, the bag of glue, and the fire stickers. So these are all what we're going to be needing for our Speedster experiment. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mess around with the glue to stick these together, because that part can take a little bit of time for it to dry. So let's first start off with the cardboard pieces. There are 2 bigger pieces of cardboard that are about the same size, okay? We want to use one of those. And then there are 2 smaller cardboard pieces that are triangle shaped like this, but they're not really the same shape. One is more of a straight triangle and one looks more like a wing. It's nice and flat. You can see that it fits nice and flat onto here, just like that, okay? So what we want to do first is we want to take the one that's more of like a triangle shape that can fit on top of your Speedster. You could really see how that is compared to the other one. It doesn't really look like it fits right there, but this one is a good old triangle and it fits nice and on there, just like that. Now, it depends on you as to how far forward you want it or how far back you want it. Okay, you could do whatever you want. I'm gonna let mine stick out just a little bit, just like that, okay? So we're gonna take the glue, we're gonna put that right underneath and we're gonna squeeze it really hard so that it will stay right onto there. So the same way we always use the glue, we're gonna take it, flip it to the side, squeeze the edge, one of the corners. After you do that, take your pair of scissors and cut a little piece off of that corner. Then what I like to do, you could either put it on the board itself, on the bottom piece, or on the top piece itself. Up to you. I'm gonna put it on the top one here, okay? It's good. After I do that, then we're gonna take that and put it right on top of our board. Okay, now don't just leave it onto there. Use your fingers, squeeze it on, so it spreads the glue a little bit and it also sticks onto there a little bit quicker. All right, after we do that, then we're going to be taking the wing part and put it on top of that triangle that we just put on, okay? So to do this wing part, you could do it 2 ways. You could take the glue and put it straight across, or you could just take the glue and put it on the wing itself, on the bottom part. But make sure you put it on the part that's nice and flat. because it won't work on the other side, okay? So make sure that you put it on the flat part of your wing. So I'm gonna put it just on the wing here, right on the bottom. Just go all the way from the bottom and nice and easily to the top. That way it gets in the crevice that in between this little tiny wing. Okay, so we're just gonna take that and put it right on top like so. Nice and easy, as in the middle as possible. And like before, don't just lay it down, you gotta push it down so it could be nice and stuck onto there. Now we just wanna let that dry for a little bit. And if you've got a little bit of glue on your fingers, go ahead and rub them and it should come off nice and easy. All right, now is the part where we're going to be putting our wheels and axles right on. So again, if you've already made yours, then just go ahead and put them on, or you could skip this part. But if you did not make it, let's make it together, okay? So how do you put together the wheel and the axles? Well, what we want to do is just take a wheel, turn it around. You'll see that there's a hole on the back. Then take one of your axles, which is the stick one, and poke it in. And what I like to do is I like to kind of twist the wheel a little bit so it kind of wears it in, okay? And really morphs itself around the stick, right? So once you put it in, leave it inside. Now ideally we would put the straw inside, but don't put the straw inside yet. We want to try to do the same thing with the other wheel on the other side. Put it in, twist it, but now we got to put the straw in, so just take off one of the wheels, put the straw in, and take the other wheel and finish it off, and you got yourself a wheel and axle that's together. Double check if it's able to spin like this. Now sometimes it might not spin nice and easily like this. It's because maybe the straw is touching the edges of both wheels. So if that's the case, just take it off, take your straw, and just cut off a little piece. You could cut off a little piece depending on how big or how much it needs to be cut so that it does not touch the edge of the wheel. But there is one set of the wheels, and then we want to do exactly the same thing with the other one. Take the stick, put it into the wheel, let it wear in just a little bit by twisting it around. Then take your straw, well actually, don't take the straw yet. Take your other wheel and let it wear into the other side too. Same thing. And then finally take your straw, put it in, and turn it just like that. Now, if for some reason your wheels keep falling off, a good thing to do is just take your stick, leave it on the table, leave your wheel on the table rather, and then take your stick, put it on top, and then just kind of push it down as hard as you can, maybe twist it. Be careful because you don't want to break the stick. You don't want to break the stick. And also the part that I'm holding it is not in the middle, not on the top, but close to where I am pushing it in, okay? So do that, then take the other one too, the straw, and then put the wheel on the top. But again, while you're doing this, you want to be very careful that you don't break the stick, okay? But anyway, once these two are done, then we're gonna eventually attach it to our top that is right here. Now we're not gonna touch the top for a second. We're gonna place the wheels on the bottom one, all right? So how do we do this? Well, we want to basically put the wheels in a way that they're kind of straight towards each other like this, and then you could see if I put it on, it's gonna be something like that. But what are we gonna do? On the other side, we're gonna use the tape to tape this on, okay? So I'm gonna use just one tape to tape this wheel onto my cardboard piece here. So I'm just gonna get my tape ready, and again, if you have some tape at home, it'll be better to use that tape because this tape is a little bit hard to peel off sometimes, but to peel these off, just go to the corner, peel it off, and you are good. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my tape, put it on me like this, get it nice and ready, and we're gonna tape the back over here. Now, when you do this, make sure that the wheels aren't touching the edge of the cardboard because it's not gonna be able to rotate. So put it in a place where it has enough room to wiggle around. So beware of that. And so once you get it in a good spot, take your tape, put it on top of the straw and on top of the cardboard, and try to make it as straight as possible, and put it all the way down, and here we go. That is good. Okay, now it's able to go right on top of there. Woo. okay? Then we want to put on the other one, okay? So that's this wheel that we have here. And for this one, you could use 2 pieces of tape, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take 2 pieces of my tape, untape it on, but like before, peel off the tape. Okay, now I got 2 pieces, and then we're just gonna put this up against the axle here. But remember, give it enough space so that your wheels are able to spin. Okay, so I just put this right on top of there. And put the other one right on top of there too, and that is good. Now you'll be able to see that it's able to move forwards and backwards. Even though this seems like it's the top, it's actually the bottom. You want to be able to see the tape on the top. Why? Is because we're going to put the top part like this right on top of there, as you can see. Okay, and we're gonna put those 2 together by using our tape. All right, so depending on where you put the wing, if you stuck it out too much in the front, then you can't put the tape on the front. But if you got space on the back, like how you see here, I could put tape on the back, depending on where you put the wing. But for sure, we all can put the tape on the side, right? So same thing as before, just get your tape. And now we are just gonna tape it on the sides here. So I'm gonna put this one right on the outside there and tape it around. Here's one. You could do it long ways, or you could do it this way, sideways too, if you want to, either or. As long as it's able to hold it, right? That should be good on the top. And then also I got a little spot here on the back. Since it's a bit wider, I'm gonna put it long ways like this. Wrap it all the way around. Holds it nice and still. And we are almost done. We gotta spice this up. I'll turn it into a real speedster by adding some fire. Okay, so with this, these are just stickers. All you need to do is just find the corner and peel it off. Peel it off. And put it on the wing. You could either put it on the wing, on the car itself. I'm just gonna put mine right on along the edge right over here. Here's one side and the other. Ha-ha! And then we're gonna do the other side too, because you got another one. And if you got some other stickers at home, use your own stickers, whatever you want to do to your Speedster. Then we're just gonna take that, put it right on there, and ta-da! Now we've got a Speedster with a very simple machine, the wheels and the axles. And as you can see, it's carrying everything on top of the axles, but the axles are attached to our wheels, which makes it a lot easier. And this is how your car works. It's able to carry a much heavier load, making our work a lot easier. So there you go. Next, we're gonna look at the screw, which is a simple machine. What this is it's a winding incline plane. What does that mean? Well, if I take this hex nut and if I spin it on there, right, it's gonna either go down or go up. That's how these screws work. And we usually use it to tighten things. If I go all the way, it's gonna make it nice and tight. And so in our next experiment, we're gonna use the screw with his best friend, the nut. I'm not a nut. This is the nut, okay? And we're gonna use it together to make a simple machine turn into a complex one. Now let's make some scissor tongue. Using screws. Now, these are the parts that we're going to be needing. We need the 2 pieces of foam, 2 small rubber bands. There are 4 sticks with holes all over them. Then there are also these nuts, hex nuts, and the screws for them. 4 nuts, 4 screws. And then grab your little small toys and trinkets that we're gonna be picking up once we finish making our scissor tongs. Okay, then how do you make this? Well, first we're gonna be using our simple machine, the screw with his best friend, the nut. Yeah. So how do we do this? Grab your 2 sticks, and then you can see some holes. We're gonna put it right in the middle hole. Okay, so take your screw, put it right in the middle one there. And then with that one, just fit it into the other one right in the middle hole. See? Now we want to keep them together by taking your nut and putting it right on there and just spin it. And you can see it's going down when you turn it, which is exactly what screws do. They are just turning on this inclined plane here. Okay. Ta-da! We're not done yet. Now we're gonna attach this to another one. So we wanna make an X like this with one, and then we wanna do the same thing with these two. Okay, so just take your screw, put it right into the hole, then take your other one, put it right into that one too. Then you got the X, then take the nut, and then put it on. If it gets stuck and it's not moving, then just take it off and then try it again. Make sure that it's able to go onto there and turn it as it goes down. It winds all the way down, okay? And you don't have to screw it too tight. Okay, you could just have it nice and loose. And now we've got two X's. Now, do be careful. This thing does poke out a little bit, so you don't want to hurt yourself, all right? But that being said, once you finish the two X's, then we want to attach them together like this. So we want to get the two on the outsides here, okay? So you could pick any one of the corners. So I'm just going to take my screw, put it in, but you could attach that to the other one on the outside. You could pick any one of the corners, and then we just finish it off with this buddy, the hex nut. Put it right on there. Twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it. Now, the way I'm twisting it is, as long as it's able to go down and inward, you're doing fine. But if you try to remember this too, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's also gonna go that way as well, okay? But as long as you're, whichever way you're twisting it, as long as it's going inward, you're doing a good job, okay? So, once that's in, then we're going to attach the other one right at the bottom of that one. So we're gonna do one at a time. Just go ahead and take your, your screw, and we want it all the same direction. You see how all of the screws are pointing outward the same direction? We also want to do that, okay? Then once it's in one of the holes, then we want to poke it into the other one right underneath it. Once you do that, take your nut and do the same thing. Put it right on there. Turn it. As long as it's going inside, you are good. All right, then once it's done, as you can see, it kind of extends by me squeezing these two on the edges either side. It will keep on extending and doing that. The next step would be to put on these foam parts, okay, which will go on the edges of these sticks, okay? So you'll notice on these foam, there's a little hole right on there. And all you need to do, just stick it in and ta-da! And the other one too, well, you could also stick it in right there. But it doesn't usually stay. So there are two ways, or you could even do both ways to keep these on, which are to put on our rubber band. So let me first show you how to put on the rubber band. So what I like to do is push the foam in a little bit so that the stick is sticking out just a little bit, and put the rubber band on top on the other side and wrap it around like so. See, it's holding on. But for extra assurance of holding this and secureness of that, remember how we had our glue, right? So what you could do is you could put some of the glue on your, on your foam, and put it in there, and also double up with the rubber band as well. You could do it either way in terms of gluing it. I personally like to put glue on top of here, but you don't have to do it right there. You could also put it on the stick, okay? But let me put this over here. Okay, just take that and put it right inside. That way the glue wraps around not just the top part, but all over where it's being squished inside. Then, as a second secureness of what we're doing here, just put it around the stick, wrap it around, and ta-da! Now this is so that we don't want it to move from where it is. Now I know I only put glue on this one, but let's see how this works now with all of our toys. Then once you're done, just get whatever toy you have, whatever small object you have, and reach out and let's try another one. Let's try Mr. Astronaut. Let's try you, buddy. Ready? There we go. So what we've done is we've turned a simple machine, which are the screw and the nut, into a more complex machine. Look at this. I'm even able to pick up. Maybe could I pick up this bottle? Let's see. Wow, I knocked that over. Let's try that again. Ready? There we go. So there you go. That's how you do it. You could either use whatever you have here, but now that you know how to use it, you could use it on whatever you want. But there you go with the screw. The last type of simple machine that we're gonna go over is something called the incline plane. Now, this has been commonly used by you, just like you've been using all your entire life, the wheels and axles. There has always been this incline plane, okay? To put it simply, you've been using it right in front of your driveway at your garage. Stairs, I'm pretty sure you've gone up and down some stairs. It just helps you, instead of it being nice and leveled like this, instead of going over a cliff or something, you got something that will help you to get it upward, like a little ramp. You've probably seen this on a freeway, on the sidewalk. Anything that goes a little bit higher like this is what we call an incline plane, helping you get from point A to an upper part of point B. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna turn these books into a machine. What do we mean by that? Simple machine, incline plane. All you need to do is take your stack of books, take one of them, ta-da! Now it's a machine because it's an incline plane. Remember, an incline plane is a simple machine that gets things from point A to point B, whether it is from a low place to a high place or a high place to a low place. If I let this go. So as you can see, that's basically what we're gonna do here with these stacks of books. You just take them, right? And take either one book, let it be like this, or what you could even do is you could have one stand up like that. And well, this is kind of short, but depending on the book, whichever one you have, you can make it go from a top part to a lower part like so. And let's see how this goes. Oh no. But those are what you could do with these books. And for this experiment, all you need are just your Speedster and your stack of books. And just make sure you have your stack of books just like that to make your incline plane. And there you go, guys. There you go. Simple machines, simple experiments, fun time together. I definitely had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And until next time, this is Manoa, and I'll see you at home.